First thing I had to do before we get started, you know? This felt like a moment in time. One that I'll never get back because you know I'm a Georgia alumni.
Yeah.
So you hurt my feelings.
Yeah, but I look crushed that I hurt your feelings.
Why do you look mad?
I don't know. I was still young, so I don't know.
You know what I think though? Like, from that freshman year to now, like I'm looking at a completely different person. Like, do you ever look back at the journey that you've been on and think about how even moments like this have made you who you are?
You never really get that opportunity to really think back on your journey to where you're at unless asked.
Right.
But, you know, I think it's been crazy for myself with the journey that I've had to go through to get to where I'm at now. And continuing to go through things, you know, on this journey. But now I think it's cool to be able to reflect on a lot of the hard times. And, you know, when I do get into situations where it is a hard time, you know, I can reflect back on, you know, what I did, what helped me mentally, physically to get back and get prepared to, you know, to come out and you know, play the game. I love football.
Yeah. When you think about year 3 Tua, because it's actually still wild that you're going into your 3rd season in the NFL.
Crazy.
What's different from the guy that came in as a rookie?
Oh, I would say a lot of things different. Well, a lot of things are different with me when I was a rookie till now. I would say first off, the facial hair.
Boom. We're grown now. It's changed everything.
I mean, you know.
I mean, keep it.
That's got to be one of the biggest ones. You know, who I am as a player, my development over the years. You know, just playing the position, being able to talk to, you know, other guys at my position, you know, that have been successful, that have found success. Yeah, I would say a lot of things have changed, not just on the field, but off the field as well.
It's funny because when I was looking out at the practice field, over here you've got Dan Marino, like watching you practice, and you mentioned the greats. I mean, you're like 5 years old, so you obviously weren't alive when he was playing football. But what's it like to have guys like him being able to come in and have conversations with you about what it means to be a quarterback, a starting quarterback in this league?
Yeah, I would say first off, that's so uncommon. I don't think you get that anywhere else. Not that I've seen. But this guy's out here at practice every day for us. He's in our meeting rooms every time he's able to make it. You know, and then you had Clayton and Duper here today as well. And I thought it was pretty cool that I got to get a picture with both of them, and Dan got to take a picture with Waddle and Tyreek. So we're kind of flipping that. I thought it was really cool to see all 3 of those guys attend to practice today. You know, and they're really cool guys.
Yeah.
For the things that they did for this organization, you know, all they want to do is give back and help younger guys like us.
You know, we're getting the opportunity to watch the success that comes from the work you put in on the field and in off-season. When you were coming into this year, the focus was what? When you had all of that off-season time to just get better, to improve Tua, the quarterback on the field, what were you focusing on?
Yeah, I was focused on just that. Like you said, improving on mechanics, footwork, you know, trying to understand the playbook better, trying to understand the timing of how certain guys run certain routes, trying to get on the same page with them, and really just trying to hone in on the offense. I would say that was one of the biggest things for me this offseason. It's a new offense, new system, new verbiage, you know, so getting in the huddle, I don't want to get in the huddle for the first time, you know, in OTAs and then in camp, and it kind of sound the same. You know, I want OTAs to sound like it should in OTAs the first time. And when it comes time for camp and then games, you know, you sound like you know what you're talking about. You know, it's like it's like English. You're speaking English again. So, yeah, I would say just really dialing in on our playbook because it's, you know, it gets pretty wordy.
Can I just say, other than the beard, hearing you speak out loud is like, you're a grown man now.
Oh, really?
I'm like, oh my God, he's grown up. He used to like never speak. And we continue to be able to see this video of Coach McDaniel calling you and talking to you about what he expects and how he's looking forward to coaching you. And I'm just wondering what you're thinking on the other end of that call, because we haven't seen that.
Well, I thought it was cool with the things he was saying,
Yeah.
things we could accomplish when he got here with the offense and He wanted to show me some things. But for me, it was more of, oh, cool. Like, don't tell me, like, show me. Like, let's, I think that's what this whole organization is based off of. We're tired of hearing, we're tired of rebuilding. We're tired of doing this, tired of doing that. Like, we want to do it. And I would say that was kind of the things going on in my head throughout our conversation. But I was excited. I didn't know that was his personality always. So that was new for me. I was kind of given some leeway as to, this is how he is right now. But, let's just see how this plays out. And I think it's really cool that, he never changed throughout the process, going through OTAs, going through training camp. And then up to this point, we've lost a couple games. We got to see how he reacted to those in our team meetings. Same guy.
Yeah.
And I think that was super cool to see. And, there's not any guy on our team that has, no trust or no faith in this guy. I would say we're all behind him.
It's interesting you said it's something that you're not used to. Okay, so compare his personality then to what you're used to in a football coach and having a football coach.
Yeah, I'm used to somebody really getting down on me, because that's kind of the way my dad coached me, was what he would call tough love. I had that with Coach Saban. We had that with Flo last year. So my perception on what a head coach should be was always, hard, tough, like you got to really work hard in order to find success. But it's pretty cool that there's other ways you can find success, and it's not always, getting down on somebody. This guy's philosophy I think his philosophy is with how he coaches is everyone wants to do good. There's not one guy in the locker room or in this team meeting that is trying to do something bad. So when they do make a mistake, it's not a call out, but it's really just a learning point for everyone to listen that, hey, this guy didn't mean to do that, but if you don't do the things that we work on in practice and that happens, this is the result of that. And I think that's super cool that we see that, and it's not a beat down of plays that you've done wrong, and it doesn't kill the confidence of guys, but it's really like, oh, that does make sense as to why he's saying that. Let me do it this upcoming practice, and see that it really works.
I've heard it as like, it's not a call out, it's a call up. Like it's an opportunity to step up and do even better. How in reaction has that changed how you, Tua, view the game if for your entire life since Dad coached you, it looked completely different?
Yeah, it's hard for me to break out of old habits that I still have. As far as if I don't put the ball where I want to put it, I'm really adamant about it, and I show it with body language in practice. There's things that I do in practice that I try not to show in the game. I never want to let the guys on the other side see me sweat. So I would say there's still things that I still have that I'm trying to work out with I guess getting clustered in my mind. Just being able to move on to the next play, whatever the next play entails, just worry about what that is. And every play has it stands on its own merit. So whatever happened the play before, don't worry about that. Focus on what's about to happen next.
Right. You've literally been the center of player safety and concussion protocol. I would like to know what it's like to live in that space, because you have to be waking up seeing videos over and over, being asked questions repeatedly. How does that feel?
I would say for me, first off, I don't make the decisions on what the NFLPA come up with as far as player safety. I do understand that with what had happened in Cincinnati, and then prior to that was Buffalo, the incidents that occurred, and they were, within a 4-day time span, guys really were trying to find a way to, help, I guess. And so, like for me, I'm all for player safety, but you know, when I hear guys saying, like, you know, oh, this is the Tua rule, or this is, you know, a rule because of Tua, you know, I don't want to be known as that. I don't want people to label that as something that I made, because I didn't make that. That's just conversations that happen with the NFL and the NFLPA. But, you know, for me, I just want to go out and do good things for my team, help my team win, do whatever I can to, you know, to help support the guys out there on the field, because, you know, we only have a short span of our prime time, if you will, of our prime, and it's not long. And you know, I want to do good by everyone in this organization. I want to do good by our coaches, by our teammates, you know, and it was hard going through that process, getting interviewed, you know, only because I wasn't able to do anything to help, you know, my guys out there on the field. I would see them going and working every day, and I couldn't do anything, you know, and it was a little tough for my parents. So, yeah.
When you think about some of the things that your parents said to you during that time, their biggest concern, I'm sure, is just the health of our son.
Yeah, that was their biggest concern. My parents they had a lot of things to say to me, you know, prior to the injury, and then things in the hospital, and then after that, and then going through the interview process, going to see second opinion doctors. You know, for me, I love football, you know. I just love it. I love the feeling that it brings. I love that football can help change people's lives. I know people don't see it that way, but for us in the building, we see that, you know, with the kind of energy that, you know, our fans bring, and then the energy that, you know, they go to work the next day with. You know, we look at things like that as well. And really, I just missed it. You know, I just missed it, missed playing.
I love that you talked about the community kind of rallying around you, that, you know, kids in the neighborhood were bringing over cookies for you, and just describe what it's like to have the support. I mean, you're getting it from players, you're getting it from your community, but some of the things that stood out to you during that time off. Yeah,
I thought it was really cool. I came home to big letters on my door. It said, "Get well soon, Tua." And then I came home to, like, champagne bottles lined up on my doorstep. You know, I also had letters, people sending letters, people coming knocking on the door. I was home, but I wouldn't go and answer, you know. They would just leave food down, and I thought it was really sweet. You know, there were kids that came to the door. They brought, like, posters and letters. And it's not just the kids and the parents and the families in our community. It was also kids from other areas of the country. You know, kids from New York were sending things to. There was an elementary school that sent things from New York. So it was really cool to feel that support, that love. I mean, I felt that from Alabama, but not from, you know, just people watching. You know, some people aren't even fans of the Dolphins, but just watching and showing how much they cared. It was awesome.
What about players?
Yeah, players reached out. There were a lot of players that reached out. You know, they were sending their best regards, best wishes. There were some things that were said, you know, that I probably shouldn't disclose.
What do you think it'll be like when you run back out of the tunnel and return to the field? How, if in any way, do you think what you've been through with your health concerns is going to affect how you play this game moving forward?
For me, how I look at this game, you know, just thinking of the longevity of me playing, you know, get the ball out. If I'm getting sacked, just fall down. You know, don't try to be a superhero. And that's something that I would say has been wired in me to try to always make something happen. And you know, sometimes the smartest play or the best play is just to throw the ball away and just punt the ball.
100%.
Yeah.
What was it like this offseason when your team, I feel like we're going to go with criticism. You were dealing with criticism in the offseason. But every single player, your coaches, they rallied behind you and said, no, wait till our guy hits the field. and you've shown up. But what was that like to have that kind of support?
Different. I would say first off, different.
Okay, why?
Because I'd never had teammates ever be vocal for me. You know, in the past, I would say I've never been in the position that I've been in, where it's kind of been like, are you the guy? Are you not the guy? I would say my whole life I've been the guy. You know, growing up playing football, and so for me that was kind of a first. You know, having guys rally behind me, you know, coming to my defense, if you will. You know, and then guys asking me questions and, you know, just telling them, hey, if that's what he thinks, that's what he thinks, you know. But, you know, I think it's cool, it's bold.
It is.
You know, with the statements that they've said. And for me, I never felt like I ever had to live up to any of those expectations that they set. I just had to go out and do what I've been doing in practice with these guys. And to me, I think that was good enough, you know, so that if I was able to take what we did in practice to the football game, that, you know, hopefully people could see.
Enough.
Yeah.
So what is it like? How do you handle criticism? Internalize, use it as fuel? How do you work with it? Because when I see it about me, you know, I hamper on it a little bit. Like, it bothers me as a perfectionist. What kind of guy? Yeah, I would say when I was in college, it would definitely bother me. But you weren't criticized much in college.
Well, when we did lose the national championship game to Clemson, I would say that's kind of like one of the first times I ever felt like, whoa, you know, comments. And so I was like, all right, maybe I got to stay off this social media stuff. Really, I had to kind of do that deal. I would say also realizing, like, I had to find a way where I was trying to strive for excellence and not perfection, because then for me, I knew I'd be lying to myself, because I was never going to be perfect, and I was going to be chasing something that wasn't going to be there for me. And so I was kind of in the realm of like, all right, what can I do that'll help me, you know, if I can't find perfection, you know, for myself. So I would say that's kind of where the whole trying to find excellence came in, where I know I'm going to make mistakes, but it's always about knowing better and then doing better from whatever that mistake was.
Anything you did to help with that? Because I think that's a tough mindset shift to go through.
Well, I had someone to talk to about that, like a mental coach. So it's not like I came up with that myself.
Okay.
And so, I had someone help me with that. And just going through the criticism now, you know, I would say I handle that internally now, you know. Whatever I can use as fuel, whatever I think like, oh, I can use this as fuel for myself, I will. If not, I won't. But I take receipts. I take receipts.
Teflon too is keeping receipts.
I take receipts.
I don't know if you know who these represent.
Yeah, guys, this is going to be a quick game. It's
raining, but yes.
Yes.
Tell us who it is. Who is this?
Yeah, this is the Penguin.
Yeah, that's the Penguin.
We'll call it Jalen Waddle.
Okay, who is this?
We'll call this the Cheetah.
Okay, all right. So I want you to raise whichever one is the best. I'm going to ask you a question. You tell me. Okay, ready? The better nickname.
Oh.
You got to pick one.
Okay, got you. Oh, no. I'm doing that on purpose. All right.
Okay. The better nickname.
I like this one.
Okay, it's pretty good.
Everyone knows this guy.
I know. Okay, the best touchdown celebration.
Oh. I never seen his yet, but.
Okay. That's fine. The Waddle. Yep. Yeah, I'm with it. The better trash talker.
Oh.
By far. Woo. You don't want those problems?
Love him. Love him.
The better smile.
They're gonna think I'm. They're gonna.
Right, you still gotta throw it to them.
Yeah,
so let's
correct.
make the right decision.
Correct.
Who is faster?
Oh, I got to go with this guy.
Okay.
That was quick, huh?
Okay, yeah.
That was quick.
I was actually thought you would do both because, you know, you can't.
No, for sure. We haven't seen what he ran his miles per hour. We haven't seen it with this guy yet. But he's dealing with some things, so, you know, we'll leave it with this guy.
Okay, appreciate you playing the game. One more thing. You
Wow.
ready?
That was it, huh?
That's it.
Yeah.
Huge hands. Check it. Right?
Holy
Like I would
crap.
be, yes. I would be an amazing
Holy crap.
receiver. Okay?
That's awesome.
I could do the waddle and everything. But Chris Sims is trying to teach me how to throw the ball. He's a left-handed quarterback. But you're the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. So since he couldn't teach me, we just wanted to see if you could. Give me the mechanics. See if you can I'm gonna throw it to Vinny. You just see if you're a better teacher than Chris Sims.
I don't.
Ooh, you got, listen.
Well, how do you hold the ball?
You tell me. Shoot, I don't know. That's how I would hold it.
See, that's how you would hold it?
Okay. Is that my problem?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. It sounds
That's
like a
what
problem.
feels comfortable
That's
to
what
you.
feels comfortable to me.
The difference is I don't know of any other quarterback that holds it the way I hold it.
Let me see it.
I hold it with 3 fingers, the laces, and I think everyone else holds it with two fingers. So
And that's you just developed when you were younger.
I might be the wrong person.
I want to throw like Tua.
You want to throw like me?
Yes.
Okay, so use your left hand then.
Okay, I'm ready. No, I can't. Let's try it. No.
See?
No, let's try it. I'm gonna throw it with my left hand.
I think you kind of want. Yeah. There
Yeah.
you go. But
Here?
does it feel more comfortable this way because you
Yeah,
got
it does.
more of the ball?
It does. Yeah.
I think that's
Now,
the way
I'm
for you
turning
to throw it.
sideways.
Yeah.
And
then you really want your hip to come first, and then the ball follows.
all right.
So it's kind of like a sequence like that. Yeah.
This is gonna be so bad.
kind of like that.
Let me turn. That was
Let her do it with her right.
Okay, let me do it with the right. Ready?
Yep.
Why does it do that?
You can
I'm like a
catch, Vinny.
basketball player.
No, it's okay.
Don't catch. We're not
Okay,
hurting you.
sorry.
You're not catching. No.
No, you're
What are
good.
you doing?
It's Maria's normal grip.
That's my normal grip, right?
Oh.
I feel like I'm shooting.
As long as
I'm literally playing basketball.
It's okay. You don't.
Thank you, Tua.
Oh,
Tua
thank you.
taught me.
Thank you.
We did good.
She doesn't need to know how to throw a ball.
Exactly. I need to talk about ball.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.